Hi there, I'm Perfecto de Castro and welcome to this video. So today I wanted to talk about the minor 7th Arpeggio. In this video will be a lesson in how I lay it out on the fingerboard as well as how I apply it in my leads and improvs. I'll be playing my Chapman Norseman with DiMarzio Gravity Storm pickups, and I have a Ditto looper for the musical examples later, and I'm plugged into my Victory V30 head and cabinet in the single-ended mode, so it's not too loud. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, click here to watch the install and full demo video of these pickups in this guitar. Check it out. The minor 7th Arpeggio is one of my favorite shapes on the fingerboard, and the way I have it laid out is slightly different than what you normally see in most guitar resource materials. So for this video, we will be playing it in the key of E minor, though I highly recommend and encourage everybody to work it out in all keys. So here's how I play it. We'll start on the 5th string, 7th fret, E, and then followed by the 4th string, 5th fret, G, and then the 3rd string, 4th fret, B, and then also on the 3rd string, 7th fret, D. So that comprises the notes of one octave. Okay, and then we're going to shift to a higher position. So also on the 3rd string, we will slide into the 9th fret, E, and then followed by the 2nd string, 8th fret, G, okay, and then 1st string, 7th fret, B, also on the 1st string, 10th fret, D, and just to complete the octaves, the root octaves rather, we'll slide up to the 12th fret, E. There's a few reasons why I've laid out the minor 7th Arpeggio in this fashion. First reason is that it's very gentle on the fingers because it does not involve any crazy stretches. So it pretty much follows the 1 finger per fret rule when you're playing scales. And secondly, speaking of scales, it's easy to transition between scale playing into the arpeggio shape. And lastly, I like slinky slidey licks. So with this shape incorporating the position shift, okay, I can easily go into slip and slide mode whenever I play. Application. The most obvious way to use a minor 7th arpeggio is to play it over the minor 7 chord of the same root. So we are in E minor, so here's an E minor 7 chord vamp. Arpeggio. Now let's break down and get to know the minor 7th arpeggio a little bit more intimately so that we can use it in less obvious ways. Now if you take the notes of the minor 7th arpeggio, in this case in E minor, we have E, G, B, and D. Okay. What this tells me is that it's actually 2 triads that are stacked on top of each other, kind of like this. Okay, the first triad is the E minor triad, E, G, and B. Okay. The second triad is G, B, and D, which is the G major triad, the relative major of E minor. Now, knowing this, we can use the E minor 7 arpeggio in a major context. In this case, we can use the E minor 7 arpeggio over G major. Okay, to give a different sound. If you're confused about all the terms that I'm throwing out, triads and such, I suggest you read up on how to build chords, or if not, click here to watch my video about triads. For us to use the same shape in either a minor or major context, all we have to do is to change our ending note or our target note. So to make the shape sound minor, you have to end your line on the minor root, in this case E. Okay, right? Now to use it in a major context, we have to end on the major root, which is G. Which fits nicely on the G chord. Notice that I'm using the same exact shape. But the shape takes on a whole new sound depending on where you end the shape. Minor, major, major, minor. It's great. For all you theory freaks out there, if we use the minor 7 arpeggio shape in the relative major context, then it turns into a G major 6 chord or arpeggio. Okay, same exact notes. G, B, D, E, but in a different sequence. I've recorded a G major 6 chord vamp so you can hear how the minor 7 arpeggio sounds like in the relative major context. So here's another loop that switches between E minor 7 and G major 6 so that you can hear how the minor 7 arpeggio shape works over both chords. I mentioned earlier that with this minor 7 arpeggio fingering, you can easily switch between the arpeggio and scalar playing or scales. So taking the notes of the E minor 7 arpeggio, E, G, B, D, we only need to add one more note to turn it into an E minor pentatonic. And the missing note is the A. So now we have. I'm going to play over the E minor 7 chord vamp I had earlier. And this time I'm going to switch between the minor 7 shape and the minor pentatonic. Arpeggio, pentatonic, arpeggio, pentatonic, arpeggio, pentatonic. So now let's alternate the minor 7 arpeggio with a diatonic scale. So in this case, we have the E minor 7 arpeggio and the E minor scale, E natural minor scale, or E Aeolian for those who know their modes. Notice that there isn't any special fingering involved to switch between the scale and the arpeggio. So arpeggio, scale. Okay, same thing here. Let me demonstrate again over the E minor 7 chord vamp. Arpeggio, scale, arpeggio, scale. I'm going to leave you with an advanced approach in using the minor 7 arpeggio. In my triads video, I talked about something called the harmonized scale, which is taking the notes of a diatonic scale, in this case E natural minor, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and harmonizing them, building triads over each scale degree. So the triads will be E minor, F sharp diminished, G major, A minor, B minor, C major, and finally D major. So let's ignore the three majors and the diminished triads from that harmonized scale and focus on the three minor triads. So we have E minor, A minor, and B minor, and use those as roots for our minor 7 arpeggio shapes. So E minor 7 arpeggio, A minor 7 arpeggio, B minor 7 arpeggio. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these three minor 7 arpeggios and play them over a static E minor 7 chord vamp. Okay, this technique is called superimposing, okay, or superimposition. E minor 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, A minor 7, E minor 7. as you've heard, this approach gives you a lot more ear-bending sounds over a static chord vamp. It's great because the notes of each minor 7 arpeggio still falls within the range of the E natural minor scale, but since they are laid out differently or they're sequenced differently, then you get more interesting sounds that way. Okay. So let me improvise using the 3 arpeggios over that vamp again. So probably a B minor 7 arpeggio played over an E minor chord is one of my favorite moves because of the sound that it imparts. So a B minor 7 arpeggio over an E gives you it's like a ninth, 9/11. Sound. Okay. And another reason why I like this move so much is because of the where it's at in the fingerboard. So it's right here in the 12th fret area, which means I can switch between an E minor pentatonic shape into the B minor 7 arpeggio. I can play blues licks and insert some hints of sophistication by switching into the B minor 7 arpeggio. I love that. So let me improvise over the minor 7 vamp again. Switching between the E minor pentatonic and the B minor 7 arpeggio. So there you have it. I hope this lesson has opened new possibilities for you with your playing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, check out my website, and follow me through my different social media outlets. And if you do, give this video a thumbs up like. And I'll see you guys again soon. Cheers.